What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at Avatar Frontiers of Pandora on my Radeon 7900 XTX. Since we're dealing with the best AMD card, we're going to be looking at 4K on my LG C1 TV. Let's go through the settings first because this game is actually quite impressive visually and optimization wise, I feel. We're going to take a look at some of the settings. We'll check out FSR. We're going to check out a little bit of frame generation. But what I've gone ahead and done is I've put the graphics to the ultra preset. So that essentially maxes everything out. And we're running the game at 4K, of course. And we're not using any FSR or anything. I just want to kind of show what the performance is like. Because I mean, this is very demanding. So we're getting around 30 FPS, which is fine because, as I said, there's a lot of detail in this game. The lighting in this game, guys, is fantastic. I love good lighting in a game, especially in an open world game with day and nighttime cycle. It's incredible. I mean, wherever there's like a clump of trees, you know how in real life you look at a clump of trees and you can tell that it's like really dark, even though it's in the middle of the day with the sun shining. The lighting here captures that really, really well. The ray tracing that they're using is actually a very good choice because it definitely enhances the experience. Why don't we enhance our experience by turning on some FSR quality here? So we're gonna put this to fixed and then set scaling to quality, and FSR 3 super resolution in this game is actually really, really good. Usually FSR tends to have a little bit of an issue with the finer detail and foliage in general. Well, not in this game. At least at 4K, FSR quality actually looks really good. It looks extremely good. And I've played the game a little bit on my RTX 4090 as well, so I took a look at DLSS briefly. I would say that FSR is comparable to DLSS quality at 4K, in my opinion, so I like it. I mean, it pretty much feels like 4K native to me, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and make our way to my next quest objective, which is that big tree there. But as you can see, I mean, the level of detail in this game is incredible. I would say maybe Ark Survival Ascended rivals it a little bit. That game also has some pretty nice, dense vegetation. But that game runs like a koala. It's extremely demanding. It's buggy. It's in early access, made by a smaller team. I get it. But, I mean, look at that level of detail in this game. It's absolutely insane. That's why I say the game is actually very well optimized, because look at the frame time graph. It's perfect, you know. The frame time is really good. The game feels nice and smooth, which also makes it a good candidate for some frame generation, which we're going to take a look at in a second. But I just want to kind of take this all in. And this is what I'm talking about as far as the shadow. Like you enter this area here and it's how it would feel in real life. If you look in the distance there, that's another dense jungle area. And look at this. This feels like the lighting, it got so much darker now, and you look out there and it's so much brighter. So this is incredible. I really like stuff like this. I feel it adds to the immersion. So yeah, Ubisoft has done a really good job here capturing that Avatar feel with some very immersive lighting. Now another thing I wanted to try is setting FSR to balance and see what it looks like. Actually, I think it looks actually pretty good. I think it looks really good. Although we're not really getting that much more performance, which is kind of strange, because we were getting what with quality? Let's go back to quality. So we're getting, let's say, 70 FPS. And then if we go to balanced, we're getting 78 FPS. I figured it would be maybe a little bit more, but I mean, it is a bit more, but I figured it'd be more than that. But as far as the quality goes, it still looks amazing to me. I mean, I can't really tell that it's really any different, not at a quick glance. It still looks very highly detailed, really good. What the hell was that? Okay. Alright, let us go to the big tree if I don't get killed by a bunch of plants. So this is FSR Balanced, guys. It looks incredible. You probably won't be able to see all the detail on YouTube, but just take my word for it. It looks amazing. Now we at the home tree. Yeah, look at that. Look at how good that looks. Look at how dark that looks. It just looks like so realistic, so immersive. Even though it's nice and sunny here, bright. Like, look at the shadows of the foliage and the trees and the bushes. They look really, really good.
Sharp eyes, a Sarentu's gaze, but yours is heavy. Let home tree be a refuge from your burdens. We will put some color in your cheeks, or in your clothes at the very least.
Now I've gone ahead and put FSR back to quality, and now I've enabled frame generation. So let's see what we get here. And I've actually looked into frame generation a little bit already, and it seems like it's locking it to my display's refresh rate, which is 120 FPS 4K. It's an LG C1 OLED TV. And I have to say, guys, this FSR3 frame generation looks incredible. I was not impressed at all with Forspoken. I thought it looked really bad frame generation on that. And in Immortals of Avium, it was better, but it wasn't great. Here, it feels like what FSR3 should have been from the beginning. This actually feels competitive with DLSS frame generation to me, as someone that's tried that in a bunch of games. This actually feels great. I would say this game is the best showcase for FSR3 super resolution and frame generation. Why don't we go ahead and continue with this quest a little bit. The only gripe I have is that it seems there's some sort of a transparency effect around UI writing letters and icons and stuff, which seems to update at a lower refresh rate. Maybe our original frame rate, because it stands out. You can see it in the bottom there when I strafe left and right. So that is a bit distracting, I have to say, especially when you get big letters sometimes, like your mission update in the top left corner. When that pops up, it really stands out. So I hope they can fix that, because from what I remember, I believe they said that they have some sort of a technology with FSR3 that renders the UI elements after the generated frames or something like that, because that is kind of an issue. The latency feels fine. I can even tell that it feels like 60-70 FPS, but I'm getting 120, and it's locked at my monitor's refresh rate. It's great, because personally, the way I play games, and I might make a video on this, is I use frame rate caps a lot. I don't like an unlocked frame rate that goes all over the place. I'd rather have a consistent experience. For me, consistency is very important. So yeah, this is great. This is perfect. I would definitely play the game like this at 4K, frame generation on, FSR quality. It's perfect. Another gripe I have with the game is with HDR and just brightness in general. It seems like the game is overly bright. Markus over at Gaming Tech, he looks at HDR in gaming, and he did take a look at this game as well. I'll leave a link to his channel. It's a really good channel if you're into HDR. And the black level floor is pretty high in this game, so you never get those deep blacks that you're supposed to get on OLED TVs, especially with HDR on. So while HDR does look good because it improves the contrast, but you never hit that inky black level you're supposed to get with HDR. I mean, it launched yesterday, so it's doing much better than other games have. Yeah, anyways, guys, I don't want to spoil much of the story here. I think you should check out the game. If you're remotely interested in it, you can just subscribe at Ubisoft Plus for $15 a month and check it out. If you like it, you could probably beat it in a month and then cancel. That's essentially what I'm doing. But anyway, this was just a quick look At least that was the goal with the 7900 XTX at 4K, checking out Avatar. I'll probably end up looking at the 6800 XT, the 3080 Ti, and probably the 4090 as well eventually. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did like it, give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching the video. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
And here, my dear friend, Kitani. Nafika, taking the Sarantu under your wing already. A necessity, I should think. Look at these flows.